it's Monday night at 7 o'clock, and it's already off the charts.
Little tongue tied at the start there, aren't you, Jerry?
I'm looking out in the audience out here, and we see Dan Harney sitting out there. I mean, it's like having royalty in the house. And then we've got senior basketball players coming in for the last segment. But anyway, this is Knightline Live. I'm Jerry Middleton, and with me as usual is Rick Fletcher. And Rick,
well, I understand why you got tongue-tied. We've been discussing some deep issues with Dan, and we're going to bring him on and hopefully get into that stuff. And it should be great. I mean, we'd love to have the reporters come in, and they'll tell us what's going on around the county and the conference, with some of the other teams. And, we want to know, because it's important to us, it's important to our kids and the players and that type of thing. All right, what are we talking about tonight, Jerry? Girls basketball,
Well, girls basketball. We had our first home game the other night. Nice crowd.
It was a great crowd. It really was.
And so we were all very happy in the athletic department as far as that goes.
Love to see that gate.
And we talked about this earlier. In today's world, because athletic departments are self-sufficient, and basketballs are like $120 a piece.
Yeah.
And they don't last forever.
Yeah, you're right.
And so you got to make that to make things work. It's it's a business.
Yeah, it is a balancing act. If you're an athletic director in a small school like Northeastern, and you look around in the county schools, they're all small schools, so they have to generate that money to be able to provide some kind of experience to their student athletes. And that type of thing.
Well, girls basketball, Franklin County comes to town.
Nice team, by the way.
A good ball club.
Very good team.
Knights lose by 1.
Yeah.
And we're going to play a coach's comment stuff.
Yeah,
so we'll leave some of that stuff that's in that coach's comments for that. So you'll get that so we don't double up on it. But, the one thing that I noticed in that, the Knights got down about 9 points, and I mean in like 45 seconds, they tied the game up. I mean, they're explosive on scoring.
There is, Jerry, I'm going to say this out loud for everybody to hear. There is as much talent on this team that I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah.
And not just here, but in the different schools that we play. Now, there's always challenges, right? And 1-2 record. Bill Parcells said you are what your record says that you are, and that's true. We've seen free throws. Free throws, or the lack of making free throws. That's been a problem. You can correct that.
Yes.
Okay. Turnovers, but they do play an aggressive style. You're gonna have some turnovers, but these are all things that they can clean up. So what you're hoping, and I'm a homer and I'm a fan, and everybody who watches this knows that, is I'm really hoping for these young ladies that they can put that, really get focus, because this team has a chance. Okay. It's up to them. It's always up to the players, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
As far as how far they want to go. We've seen this in volleyball the last couple of years, Jerry. It was up to the players how far they wanted to go. The coaches can only do so much.
There's always a fine line between success and not.
Right.
It's a fine line.
Right.
And it's easy to fall off that balance beam one way or the other, and once you go one way or the other, it's hard to get back on the balance beam.
You're 100% right. Now, we're also dealing with high school kids. I mean, there's certain things that go along. These are not adults. They're not professionals. They're not getting paid. It's not the Indianapolis Colts out there, and they're all getting paid a lot of money to play. But you get excited about the talent that you see out there. And you see spurts of it, just like what you said, against a very good team in Franklin County, able to fight back, because they lost by 20 last year to that team down in Franklin County.
Yeah.
So there's progress.
Absolutely.
Okay? There's progress there, but you really want to see these ladies take advantage of it. Okay, you don't want to be 10 years from now as a young woman looking back and saying we had the chance and we didn't take advantage of it. We know, all right, we've all been there. Okay?
Everybody's been in that situation.
We all played sports growing up, and you want it. I'm telling you right now, you want to take advantage of it. So, season's young.
Season's young, and like I said, as long as you win the last 6,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares, and that's the way it works.
Yeah, or you just win the sectional. Nobody cares what your record is. Okay, so if you experience postseason success, the regular season is forgotten.
Yeah.
So, but we've said, and I've said to you and to whoever would listen, this is a lot of talent on one team. So, hopefully that talent will show itself as the season wears on.
Tomorrow night, Union County Patriots come to town.
Right.
A thorn in the Knights' side in the sectional, not as much as during the regular season, but sectionals has been a thorn. And so that game's at home tomorrow night, and we'll have that on the Knights Broadcasting Network. But as usual, as Rick always says,
get in the gym. Come to the gym. You can watch the replay later. Okay, that's why we do the games, to watch the replay, and for Grandma and Grandpa who live in Florida. Okay. Other than that, if you can hear our voices, come to the games and pack the house, because really that's what motivates players.
Absolutely.
No matter who they are. So we really like to see you pack the gym. We, as is our practice, we like to have videos here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you had an interview with one of our newest coaches. Tell us a little bit about that, Jerry.
Well, it was Stacy Shepard, played at IU, and also was a Richmond graduate. I think she graduated in like 1990.
Yeah.
From Richmond, and her sister Lisa played at Penn State. So you got two girls from Richmond that played in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And that's pretty big time.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, she's helping with the 5th and 6th grade basketball, and she agreed to come on for the Coach's Comments show, brought to you by First Financial Bank and Beth Beatty. So she came on, and we had a good time.
Let's go to Kayla. Kayla's going to run that. So let's see what Jerry and Stacy had to say.
Back to Northeastern, the Knights fall by 1 point on the First Financial Bank Coaches Comment Show, brought to you by Beth Beatty. And joining me tonight is, someone that's fairly famous in the area, Stacy Shepard, and she is on the Knights broadcast, not Knights broadcasting, but the Knights basketball coaching staff. She's the 5th and 6th grade coach this year. She's also helping with the varsity and so forth. Stacy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, just a quick refresher here. You played basketball at IU back in the early 90s.
Yes.
And also at St. Joe up in Rensselaer.
That's correct.
And and then also played at Richmond and graduated, 90?
90.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
and put up a lot of points there.
A few.
Yeah, a few points. Well, tonight, the thing that's plagued the Knights this year, it seems to me, has been free throws.
That's one of the things.
I think. You were 8 of 21, 8 of 22. I mean, a 1 point ball game, 2 free throws. That's the whole difference. I mean, what's your thoughts about about that part?
Well, from that standpoint, it's pretty plain and simple. You hit a couple more free throws and we're winning the game. So, that's a problem. And we're there's a few different angles. We're working on different things. But that's one we can definitely control and improve upon.
Yeah, and turnovers is another one, obviously, that you can control that. Now, sometimes turnovers just happen because the other team's playing good defense and so forth, and there's other times, you just throw the ball out of bounds, and the Wildcats are just as guilty as anybody, throwing the ball out of bounds. But, I think, come down to free throws and turnovers and stuff like that. Knights were down 7-9 points there at one point in time, and within 50 seconds, it tied the game up. So they're explosive to score.
That is one of the great things about this team. Very explosive, play hard all the time, which is one reason we do have a lot of turnovers. We take a lot of risks. We push the ball. We get up and down the floor.
And when you take risk, sometimes there's positives and sometimes there's negatives. That's
Very
just
true.
the way it works. But,
Very true.
it's just tough. So how's the 5th and 6th grade basketball? What are we looking like there this year?
Well, we're just getting started. So, literally like 3 practices in. We've got a couple of games this weekend, actually, in a league that we're playing. And so I don't know a lot yet. I'll let you know.
Well, yeah, you need to keep us informed of how the 5th and 6th grade doing. We like to always talk about the feeder programs and so
Awesome.
forth.
Yeah.
And so they're probably playing in the Dirt Road League. Is that
It's the ECI league.
The ECI, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and we got a full roster on both teams. A lot of girls came out, and so it's gonna be a good run.
Oh, yeah. And on another note, I know a lot of people out there. What's your sister up to now? Where's she?
Well, so she stopped coaching last year,
Oh,
or
really?
at the end of last year. She was at Hamilton Southeastern. And now she does basketball lessons. She teaches people how to shoot. They have a sports facility where they do different things with different teams.
Very nice, very nice. Always enjoyed watching both of you play, and it was always fun to watch. And, you're shooting, both you guys just shoot the lights out. So it was always fun to watch you guys play back in the old Richmond days.
Yeah, the good old days.
The good old days,
That's
yeah.
right.
The good old days.
Appreciate that.
Oh, that's been a few little bit ago for me.
That's been a couple days.
Yes, it has. Well, hey, Stacy, thanks for joining us tonight, and appreciate your insight and so forth. And this has been the First Financial Bank Coach's Comment Show, brought to you by Beth Beatty and Rick.
Well, Rick, if I must say so, that was a hard-cutting interview.
It was, Jerry. You did a great job.
That was like Barber Wawa.
I mean, really, you get a name like
Yeah.
Stacy Shepard to come in and help you on your 5th and 6th grade team.
That's big.
That's a good get right there.
Oh,
and
you and kids.
and she's been on the bench during the
Yeah.
JV varsity game, so she's helping out. So hey, good get for Cody and the crew over there, and hopefully for the ladies basketball throughout. They really are doing a good job of building the farm system.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing a real good job of doing that.
The feeder systems are good, and to show that how good the feeder system really is doing is our Subway Player of the Game.
Yeah.
I mean, she only got 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But in that 4 minutes, she hit free throws, no turnovers, shots, and defensively did pretty good, and some doggone good big rebounds.
Well, and that was freshman Carrie Gammon, and I'm impressed, Jerry.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay.
I think she's going to be a good player
As a
for
matter
us.
of fact, a lot of those JV players, I have to say, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It makes you say the future is bright.
Yeah.
Okay. And Carrie, she came in. She did exactly. She's green, all
Yeah.
right, because she's only a freshman. But boy, she didn't. I think she's going to be a good ball player for the Knights. I'm thinking possibly this year. I don't know. I'm not the coach, and I'm not putting that on anybody. But you can see the talent in this young lady.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So she was our very first ladies basketball player of the game. And we had that interview. Now, I got to tell you, she was very shy, as you can imagine.
Well, she spoke a few words.
Very few words. But I tell you what, Jerry, over the next 4 years of this young lady's career, she's going to have ample opportunity to talk with us. I can tell you that.
Well,
So,
and we will see her growth.
yeah.
And Dan Harney talks about this. What a great it is for these young athletes to get put in front of the camera, because when they go to college or they go into the workforce, they're going to have to speak up. And this is teaching them, I've got to do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're going to run that short interview with Carrie Gammon, and we're going to run some commercial, and we'll come back. We'll have Dan Harney. here
Woo!
with us.
Royalty in the house.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. So
All right.
take us out of here, Jerry.
We'll be back after these message, and also that player, the Subway Player of the Game on Knightline Live.
All right, welcome back to Northeastern. The Knights lose a tough one to a very good Franklin County team, 54-53. I'm here with our Subway Player of the Game. Subway with 3 locations in Richmond and 1 in Hagerstown. There's a Subway sandwich shop near you. Subway, eat fresh, and Carrie Gammon, freshman Carrie Gammon, you are our Subway Player of the Game. How does that make you feel as a freshman?
It makes me feel good.
All right, let me ask you. You came in. You're only a freshman, right? But looks like you've been playing basketball for a long time. So you come in at a key moment of the game. What's your thought process as you come into the game? What are you trying to achieve?
To move fast and to be strong with the ball.
Okay, simple as that, right?
And rebounds.
And rebound.
Yep.
Okay, and you were doing that, and you get some free throws. You get to the free throw line. As a freshman, did the upperclassmen, did they try to coach you up and bring you along?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some good seniors out there, and Mastriano. Is she helpful as she tries to bring you up and bring you along?
Yeah.
All right. You nervous?
A little bit. But
My guess is you're only a freshman. We're probably going to see you here again at some point in time down the road, this year, next year, and the 2 years after that. So, all right, this has been Carrie Gammon, freshman Carrie Gammon. She is our Subway Player of the Game.
At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
13,000 feet has a way of testing a man's soul. After all, you were never meant to take on such an endeavor. That long drop is what separates human from superhuman. That fear is the only enemy, the only thing keeping you from feeling that power in your bones. And here we are, right here, right now. Let's fly.
You're good at motivation, we're good at your insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
KOA Exit 151A, registration in the general store. It's a family-owned campground with pull-through parking for RVs or travel trailers with full hookups. Rent a cabin. Relax at one of the fire pits or picnic by the pond. A playground for the kids, or get in around the golf before dinner. Take a water-soaking hayride, lay out by the pool, and then take a dip.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
Coming together every day to make a difference for you, for me, and everyone in between. Because at Dot Foods, when we celebrate each other's differences and work together to make the community a better place, we become great together. At Dot Foods, what matters to you matters to us, where communities matter. Dot Foods.
Welcome back to Knightline Live. I'm Jerry Middleton. With me, as usual, is Rick Fletcher. And Rick, we have royalty in the house.
Well, we absolutely
Dan
do.
Harney from the Western Wayne News is with us tonight. And whenever he shows up, it's big.
Well, you know what? When Dan speaks, I know I listen. Okay, Dan, by the way, I never did get to thank you for being a commentator in Wayne County volleyball. You did a great job.
I guess that means you haven't got my bill yet.
I haven't. I don't see those things, but I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun. Long day for us old guys. At the end of the day, it was a little rough, but
I enjoyed it as well.
yeah, it was fun. Well, Dan, welcome. We're heading into basketball season, which is, the holy season for Indiana high schools, and no different around here. Girls have already started. I got a glimpse of your preview for the girls that you did in the Western Wayne News. So, hey, this is free ranging here. We're young in the season. You've seen a few teams play. Give us tell us what you know already.
Okay. I listened to your previous segment, so I want to correct you on one thing you said on that.
All right.
You said that these girls will, 8-10 years from now, if they don't accomplish what they hope, they'll regret it.
Right.
Add a lot of years to that.
Yeah. Okay.
I can still remember back when we did not win our sectional. So if you have an opportunity, you seize the moment.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think helps you accomplish that is team chemistry.
Yeah.
There's no question that some of the teams in this area have got a lot of talent. And that sign behind me that says Northeastern, I would rank them at the top of that. But it's not always talent that wins. It's team chemistry, the willingness to share the ball, to do what the coach wants you to do defensively. It's not all about me. It's all about us.
Yeah.
And I saw the Lady Knights play a few weeks ago at Muncie Central. You walk into that place and it's intimidating.
Oh, the banners are all over the place.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to guess most of the kids playing for the Bearcats couldn't find Fountain City on a map.
Yeah.
So they didn't take them too seriously. Northeastern is probably as good from top to bottom as any team I've seen in Wayne County in a long time, especially a small normal school. Sky's the limit for this team, I think. What they think is more important than what I think.
Well,
but they've got a huge target on their back. So, they're willing to play a schedule that they're going to lose some games. They've already lost 2, so they're 1-2. It's not the end of the world. They have yet to play anybody in their own weight class.
Right.
They're playing big schools. If you look at the rest of their schedule, they've got
some more of that going on.
8-10 more 3 and 4A schools. That is designed to make you better. Yorktown, Franklin County will make you better.
Yeah.
But they've got to find the right mix of. There's a lot of stars there. We got to pull this galaxy in and find that team chemistry. By the time the section rolls around, I think they're a seven-state team at minimum if they want to be.
I think you just described IU basketball, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Right there. Team chemistry, do what you're supposed to do, and play the game.
And you have to recognize everybody has a role to play.
Yep.
I mean, and they're fortunate in the year they play in. People recognize how important rebounding is, how important it is to distribute the ball. When years ago, everybody looked at how many points did he have, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
right.
That's there's a lot of components go into success in basketball and a lot of other things, of course, and it makes a difference when you recognize that and you value your teammates. Value that teammate that passed you the ball when you scored the winning bucket. Value the kids that get the ball off the board and get it out on a fast break. And defense.
And the game is not one person. It takes a team of people. And if you want to be in a one-person game, I guess cross country, you run for yourself, but you still run for your team, and there's still that. But it takes 7, 8, 9, 10 people to be successful.
I agree, and that desire for team success has to always trump individual success.
Yeah.
I mean, talent finds its own level, but what have you gained if you're on the all-tournament team on the losing team?
Yeah, I'm 100%, and sometimes that's elusive. And
Yep.
it's difficult to find that for not just high school teams, but pro teams, any level of athletic competition.
But right now, we're all building to that, so the fact that the Knights have lost a couple of games, not the end of the world. It's a learning curve. They'll be fine. I have seen some other teams
So tell us, our area here, some of our Tri-Eastern Conference.
Okay, well let's start with the Lady Red Devils. I saw them
Okay.
early.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding officiating crew that night.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with that.
There's a lot of talent on that team. I think they'll be better than they were a year ago.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I mean,
Absolutely.
they're going to have to find where the pieces fit. But there's a lot of young talent on that team. I saw Lincoln a week or so ago. Lincoln has struggled for a while, but they played so much better this year. They're young still, but they're better. They lost because they lost on a last-second play. They only had 4 games last year that were decided by 4 points or less, so they're not used to playing with the game on the line.
Yeah.
And once they figure that out, I think they'll be much improved. Hagerstown has got their numbers are low. They don't have a lot of scoring. They'll still defend you when you get off the bus. They'll pick you up, but they're going to have to find some scoring options, and I hope they do. A team that I have not seen play, but Winchester has always been a thorn in Northeastern side. It always goes right down the tournament. They lost to Knightstown this week.
I
I
did
saw
see
that.
that. So
And that is not a reflection on Winchester as much as I want to give Dusty McGee at Knightstown credit for.
Yep.
They've lost by 40, 50 points every Winchester game since they came back into the TEC. Little step there that I think
Yeah.
deserves some acknowledgement. So they beat Hagerstown the other night, and everybody keeps saying, "What's wrong with Hagerstown?"
Well,
Maybe
Winchester,
maybe
they
there's
beat
nothing. But the next night they beat Hagerstown.
Okay.
And so what's wrong with Hagerstown? Well, the answer is maybe nothing. Maybe Nicetown deserves a little bit more credit. Than
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm saying.
I'm one to say,
I agree with you.
I like the battles. I like if every team could come up to a level, where there's going to be a battle every night. That's the way, as a fan, I prefer that anyways.
Well, I think you're going to see that tomorrow night, right here. We'll get some answers tomorrow night for where's Northeastern, because Union County has a new coach, but they've got the same tradition, they'll do whatever they can to beat you. They'll be prepared when they get here. It's a chance for Northeastern to make a statement.
Yeah. And they are the 2-time defending sectional champions.
So you can say Northeastern has better talent, and they do. But somehow, Union County's figured out a way to compete with them for 2 years.
Absolutely.
And so tomorrow night, when they roll into Fountain City, I think that's a statement game for Northeastern. I think it's a time for them now to say, let's pull all our team together, have the mental attitude it takes to show the Patriots they can't play with us this year.
Yeah.
There's no question the teams in this sectional, which will be hosted by the Northeastern Lady Knights, is a chance to show them you can't play with us on our floor. Send that message right now.
Yep. I agree. And that is true in high school sports. Sometimes you have to send a message, and you send that message, and suddenly it's like, we go there, every time we go there and play, we lose.
That's right. It's mental.
And it becomes that mental part of the game, and which is big in my book. Mental part of the game is the biggest. This is the most unknown, and it's just great. I love high school basketball, and it's just so much fun to watch as we're sitting there announcing it, as it is refereeing it, as it is just going to a ball game and watching.
And writing about it. But, I mean, the other night at Muncie, Rick, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
That was a mismatch.
No,
Complete mismatch. Northeastern scores on a set play on the opening tip, steals the ball 3 straight times, scored 10-0. Next time you look up, it's 19-0.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Bearcats couldn't play with them under any circumstances. But guess what? In the second half, they did.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of mentality you have to have. We're just going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. They outscored Northeastern 11-0 in the fourth quarter.
I didn't even know that.
Does that mean anything? Not really. It didn't affect the outcome, but it kind of says you can't quit.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're up 10 or down 10 or whatever. You just have to keep playing hard. And so they should have learned that lesson from the Lady Bearcats. Hopefully they did.
So let me ask you, another Wayne County team is the Centerville Bulldogs young ladies. You know, they've had some struggles over the years, and what can you tell us about them?
Have not seen them play, but they're 0-4, and it appears that their best player that has emerged so far is a freshman.
Okay.
And I've not seen them play, so I don't want to misstate anything from personal knowledge, because I haven't. I'm not in a position to do that. But I can tell you, I think she's been a surprise that she's emerged, because they had a lot of kids back with experience. So if they can mold her into the mix, maybe they can build from there. I hope they can. They're good kids. They play hard, but they just haven't had any success for so long. Sometimes you just have to have some success.
Yeah.
Something to feel good about. And,
Yeah.
and maybe she'll give them that spark. I hope she does.
Well, let's move on here. We've spent a lot of time on girls basketball, but I know that one of the big news is that's a good word. So the big news in the TEC is the retirement of the coach at Lincoln volleyball.
Thanks for asking that question. Greg Seidner, to me, I know he's been a competitor, but he's a great human being.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a tremendous loss. We got a guy on the other side of the county who is retiring from coaching. He started coaching the year he got married. So his story is fascinating. But he's sat over there silently and won 566 matches.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he gets no publicity for that.
Yeah.
So, his peers respect that. Other players respect it. The kids that have played for him love him and love playing for him. He just silently sits over there, and every year they're competitive. Some years more than others. He's had some good teams that couldn't get out of the sectional because Union County was on a roll at the time.
Right.
And he's rated in the top 10 in the state, but he can't win the sectional because Union County's on a roll.
Yeah.
And then he gets another team that 2 years in a row he lost, top 10 team in the state because Hagerstown was on a roll. Hagerstown goes to Sim State. So, but he still won 4 sectionals. I don't know how many county tournaments and so forth. But overall, he's one of the finest coaches that this county has ever seen in my mind, as far as the way he develops people. It's a big loss to lose him, but when he got married, he had never coached a team before he became the head coach at Lincoln. I don't want to reveal his entire story because I want you to read about it in the paper next week. But it's a fascinating story. I think you'll really enjoy it. But what he did do, when he came back from his honeymoon, the superintendent called him and offered him a job. And he took it. And he and his wife agreed that was the end of their honeymoon. He was going to have to go to work now. And 33 years later, the guy has done a remarkable job. It's a big loss to the community, and he's one of the finest. And I don't think anybody in TC would disagree with anything I just said. He's a great person. He's a great human being, and he's accomplished a lot as a coach.
Well, and another big loss to the community was the passing of Dallas Osting. A great individual, and I think Donnie Beatty, one of our coaches at Northeastern, said the greatest comment or the greatest compliment that he could give was he said that his family was the best thing that ever happened to Randolph County as a move-in. And because Shane is the AD over at Centerville, which we have a great working relationship with, fantastic, and Dallas played volleyball at Ball State.
He was a star there, as a matter
with
of
Tom
fact.
Zell.
Yeah. Well, when he first, and I watched him, I'm old enough to have seen him coach at Winchester. He came from Ohio and was the head coach at Winchester for a while. Great man. He gave up coaching at the high school level. He was an assistant coach at Anderson University for a while. Worked in that area. Like you say, Shane played for him, and then later on went on to become a basketball coach himself, and now an athletic director. a great family. That's a terrible loss for the Winchester community and for
the Tri-Eastern Conference.
And for the Tri-Eastern Conference, and I feel bad for Shane, and I sent him a message the other day, and it's a big loss. I it's part of life, I guess, but it's a hard part to take.
All right, so we understand that boys basketball is coming up. It's right around the corner, and my understanding and talking to you before, Dan, you've got the preview coming up in this Wednesdays.
The preview will hit if you just can't wait till it comes in the mail, you can buy it at most retail locations in Wayne County tomorrow.
Yeah.
But understand when you read it that it's my opinion. So if you're a parent or a player and you think, what is that old guy saying?
Little disclaimer here.
My opinion, it's not going to win or lose any games for you.
All right.
So but I stand on what I said.
All right. So starting the Tri-Eastern Conference, give us a short preview of the preview. So.
Okay. Here's my impression. I think every Wayne County school is probably going to have something to feel good about this year. I think everybody will be better. Northeastern will always be good because they refuse to be anything other than that, and they always defend. Defense wins games, rebounding wins games, and people say you don't have to be a great player to rebound and defend. I'm not sure I believe that. You have to have a great desire to do it. But Northeastern basketball teams are a poster child for defense. And that's always going to make them competitive in every game they play. They've won 25 straight TEC conference games, which is really impressive. They'll be challenged right off the bat, right to start the season when they go to Centerville.
I think you're right about that.
26 will not be a given. Northeastern every year they graduate everybody that started last year. Now, one of their players is going to get a promotion. Now we can call Landon Screddy Landon instead of Little Screddy. Yeah. Since Carson graduated, so we're going to move him up a rank. I think he'll be a factor. You got Michael Henry, who can shoot the ball anywhere in the gym is within his shooting range. You got Big Sam White that's going to be a factor on the boards. Wes Cook, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He can hurt you from a lot of different places. Nolan brings his experience back. You got a lot of young kids. Day Lundy. There's a lot of talent there. The only thing is, they don't have a lot of starting experience. They'll be fine. You just next man in. That's the way that's the way Brent Ross has always run this program. Northeastern's always going to be good. Centerville's got.
They had a lot of freshmen last year.
They're loaded. They got six or eight kids back played in every game last year.
Yep.
Shea Hollandauer can play for anybody, and he averaged 17 plus as a freshman. I wouldn't want to guard him.
Yeah, you got to think they're going to make a step up because from freshman to sophomore.
I think there'll be a hard out now. They're a 3A school, so when the postseason rolls around, they're going to be really challenged. But right now, they're going to be the elephant in the room. You can't overlook them. I think. Northeastern will have to bring their A game, and everybody else that plays Centerville this year is going to have to bring their A game. Now, Centerville's going to have to up their schedule, and they have. They're going to play the big schools as well. But in the TEC, that'll be a hard out. There's no doubt in my mind of that. I think Lincoln lost their top two players scoring and rebounding wise, but they've got a lot of kids back too. And they've got some kids they're explosive scorers. Evan Stuckey, Aiden Munchell, they've both had multiple double-figure games last year. They're capable of a lot. They've got three freshmen that I think will fight for playing time, and I think at least one of them will be a starter. I don't want to put too much pressure on them, so I'm not going to name them, but they've got some veterans back. They've got perimeter shooters, and these three freshmen. You bet they're not a given either, I don't think. I think Hagerstown will be better.
Hagerstown, Dan, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I thought they made progress last year.
Well, I think you're going to. I agree with you, and I think they're going to make some more this year. They've got 5 or 6 players back in their rotation that played every game last year. They've got adequate size. They've got shooters. They've got everything, and they have a move-in that played for Seton played 23 games of Seton last year. Grant Simler. He's not going to hurt him.
No,
Nope.
no.
I mean, they are really. I think they're right on the edge. I think they're as good as they've got to figure out how good they really are. They've got Cole Tracy back. He's been playing this will be his 4th year with varsity experience. I think they're going to be a factor also. They want to be. Once again, you got some mental aspect here, so it's time for them to realize they can make that step. I think they'll be a handful.
I think it'll be fun in the Tri-Eastern Conference this year when you see, as I alluded to before, you want to see those battles night in and night out. You don't want to see a 40-point game that doesn't.
Well, it depends on whether you're a homer. You already said you were a homer. I like
homer,
those 40-point games with my team, but you're right.
But,
you won't see many of those.
You'd like to see those battles go on.
Well, I think you're going to see plenty of them, and I mean Northeastern, Centerville. That'll be Seton. Seton lost some kids, but they've got a lot back, and they've got Harvey. He's 6'9".
Yeah.
What are you going to do with him? He's a 6'9" 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
And if he gets bored with that, he'll go in and dunk it. I mean, he's the total package, and he's not their only player. And they've got another kid that's got some pretty good size at Burkhart. They've got a lot of kids that played a lot of minutes last year.
And they got a good coaching staff too.
Oh, I'd put Josh Juergens up against about anybody.
Yeah.
He really has proven to me a long time ago. He's a great coach. He seems to be able to blend that mix he has every year, and this year will be no exception. And Billy Wright at Richmond, it's not like he doesn't know what it takes to win a state championship. He won a state championship as a player. He's in a tough environment when they go to postseason play, but they've got the players to compete in and out of the North Central Conference. They've got Carpenter, Horton, Kate, and a 6'8" kid that's really coming on.
And a lot of those kids have been playing since they've been freshmen.
Cedric Horton, Carpenter, and Kate, the three of them together got over 1,500 points in varsity action. And they're going to add on a whole bunch more this year.
Yeah.
And they've got some help. I mean, they've got other kids that can play as well. I think they're going to be I think they're going to enjoy their year too. And Centerville's going to the wedding tournament this year. That ought to be interesting.
Well, it should be. It's been a good tournament.
That's a good tournament to go to. That'll tell you where you match up.
That's right. And I think that's a good.
It's good.
I think Brian Kaiser's trying to toughen up that schedule.
Yeah.
He has to do that. They're 3A school. Whether they go back down next year, it has to be determined by the IHSA. You got to play a schedule that matches up to what you're supposed to.
And it's like I say, if you're going to play Brownie Troop 114, that's what you'll be.
That's exactly right.
You gotta play to win.
And so briefly back to your girls, Addie Kircher said that the other night, that Northeastern sometimes tends to play down to the level of their competition.
Yeah.
Not in anybody's best interest to do that. If you're better than the other team, show them that.
Yeah. You want to bring them up.
That's right.
But
if you want to compete with us, you have to play better than you are.
Well, we've burned about a half hour here with Dan.
We could spend another hour with Dan. We have the senior guys of the basketball team waiting in the wings.
Don't cut them out. When you said seniors, I thought you were talking about old guys. I didn't realize you were talking about high school kids.
Wait till you see them.
Well, this is the Medicare set right here.
I have seen them play. They'll do well for Northeastern.
Well, Dan, thanks for joining us. Make sure you get your copy of the Western Wayne News for that boys basketball preview, because I'm telling you, it'll be good and it will be in depth, and we'll see Dan around. If you see Mr. Harney at a game, tell him hello and tell him thanks for what he's doing out there. Dan, thanks for showing up tonight.
Thanks for inviting me. I've enjoyed it.
We'll be back after these messages on the Knights Broadcasting Network.
Dreaming of having more space? With a mortgage from First Financial, you're golden. We keep things simple with friendly, personalized service from application to closing. We'll help you find the right mortgage loan to fit your unique needs. Plus, you can qualify for relationship pricing with an eligible checking account. And since we live in the communities we serve, you can count on our local knowledge to make sure the pieces fall into place for an on-time closing. So stop dreaming and start moving with First Financial Bank.
First! Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more! Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Simharjan Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
Are you being bugged about your floral needs? The Leaning Lily, 927 South 9th, is a full-service florist with lots of great gift ideas like wind chimes, potted plants, hanging baskets, teddy bears, and much, much more. Convenient delivery available to residential, the hospital, and local funeral homes. The Leaning Lily has bouquets to say, I love you, to weddings to say, I do. The Leaning Lily, we have you covered.
Hey there, my name is Gibson and I would love to invite you to LifeSpring Students. That's our youth group at LifeSpring Church, which is just south of Northeastern on 27, and we meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. It's a great way to get to know more about God, meet some friends, as well as get to know about yourself some more as well. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We usually have some basketball and dodgeball, along with some other activities. And if you want to know more, check out lifespring.tv/students.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, and we have some special guests here. Not royalty, but still Knights of the Round Table.
Well, yes, they want to be royalty.
They want to be royalty.
All right, so we've got Nolan Drake and Michael Henry, a couple seniors. We are missing one, unable to be with us, but we're going to talk with these guys right here. Hey, guys, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
I was going to say, hey, I know it's getting late, but I forget you're only teenagers, so you guys stay up late. The rest of us, we go to bed early here. So, all right, so Michael, I'm going to talk to you first, okay? This is your third year here. You kind of got quite a bit of playing time as a sophomore, and now junior year. Obviously, you were in the rotation. Now you're a senior. All right. So talk about being a senior on this team and the effect. You lost all the seniors from last year. The whole starting lineup has gone on to do great things. So how do we adjust to that right there?
I mean, we lost a lot of leadership for sure.
Right.
And the coaches have been on me about becoming a leader, being more vocal, and just gotta lead the team and show them the ropes.
Yeah, there's a lot of young talent on your team.
Lots of talent.
A lot of talent, a lot of young talent. So Coach Ross has had a lot of success over the last 10 to 15 years leading this program. Does he remind you guys of that? You know, like you guys in Northeast, how is it in practice? What's the competition look like?
Yeah, he reminds us we got a 25-game win streak.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll remind. It's always competitive. If the JV's pushing us, if the JV's giving us a good game, he'll encourage them. He'll want them to keep beating us and wants us to persevere, and it helps us. It helps us a lot.
All right. So Nolan, you're moving up this year from JV to varsity. Energizer Bunny is what I call you, because when you get in there, it's all motion all the time, crashing the boards, going to the hoop, waving to the crowd, doing all the good things the superstars do. So what do you find? What is your role in this team for this year?
My role is just, I don't know. I like to think of it as rebounding.
Rebounding, okay.
Yeah, get those boards.
All right. So when I was saying you have a lot of energy, I'm serious about that, because whenever you come into play, it's with energy. Is that part of your game? Is to bring that spurt, that Energizer Bunny attitude in there with you?
Yeah, you want to bring that energy. Hopefully, get the team to get that energy too, and just carry it on until you get subbed out.
Okay. All right.
Well, sophomore year, you had 3-pointers and everybody, you caught people by surprise. Then last year, they were like, okay, do not let him get loose. It was like the Steve Alford days, off of screens, a lot of screens. You had to work hard, much harder to get open to shoot the threes. And still last year shot, sufficient from the 3-point, from the arc. This year, what do you think, is it going to be more intense on you to guard you now?
We got a lot of guys that can get to the rim and give me open looks outside. But I'll have to work. The coach has been working on me with moving off the ball a lot better, being more efficient moving off the ball.
Well, we talk a lot. We talk a lot in a lot of different sports. It's not how well you move with the ball; it's how well you move without the ball. And that was a big Steve Alford thing. He was able to move well without the ball, and they get him to him and get his feet set and hit the three. And in watching practice, there's several of you guys that can launch the bomb out there, and there might be a lot of boom babies this year.
Yeah, we'll shoot the three a lot this year. We got a lot of guys that can shoot pretty good.
Yeah.
Now shooting can be streaky, okay? I mean, it can get hot, and if you get hot, but it can if you go cold. All right. So how do you avoid the cold snaps? I'll go to either one of you guys. You're the 3-pointer there, Michael. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not hitting, we're gonna get the ball inside. We got Sam. We got Nolan. We get the ball inside if we're not hitting.
Okay. So you have some confidence in that inside game with some guys that are going to step up and play major roles, a lot more than they did last year. How long, as Nolan, as you see in practice, see these guys that we're going to be counting on this year, are you seeing them develop? Kids are getting better as practice goes on here. Tell us what, what's going on with that type of stuff.
I'll tell you one person, Trey Van Lanningham. He's improved a lot.
Okay.
And it shows practice every single day.
Trey, I didn't recognize him the other day. I was like, I said, because he came out to get his Final Four, and said, and he goes, Van Lanningham. I said, Trey? He goes, yeah. I said, holy cow, kid. Yeah. You've matured into a body now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really built. So here's my good question to you, Nolan. Are you in the running for the mayor of Dunktown?
No, Sam is in Saber Faust.
I was wondering, Saber's tall now.
He's getting up there.
Yeah, Saber's tall now.
So Saber shot up, it seemed like over the summer.
Yeah, there's a couple kids, but not me. Trey's one too. Day's getting there. So.
Well, you be on the part of the law firm now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna put you on there, Scretti and Drake law firm.
All right.
Get some offensive foul draws. Take the hard hits. So I want to see.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, someone's got to do it. Might as well be you.
So as seniors, is it important to you guys? There's been quite a nice legacy built up in boys basketball at Northeastern. Is it important to you to pass that legacy on down and leave a legacy behind? Or, Michael, tell us about that.
100%. You don't want to be the one senior class that ends the streak. You don't want absolutely not.
Did I hear you say there's no pressure, right? Though you heard Mr. Harney, you heard Dan Harney say how improved Centerville is, and that's your first TEC game. So I'm guessing you guys are fired up for that. Probably at this point.
Over the last 10 years versus TEC teams, Northeastern's like 110-6.
Yeah, it's been quite a record.
Yeah, it's been quite a run over 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't want to be that team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you get out of school, after you graduate, where you wanting? You got any plans or anything?
I'm probably going to go to IU East and study business.
Well, good. Nolan, what about you?
Go to West Lafayette, Purdue. And
a Boilermaker.
Is there a school up here?
his daughter went there,
and so did my wife too. So, but I forgive her.
So you're from a farm family, obviously. So agriculture for you.
Yeah.
Is that how that's going to go down? So. A lot of stuff going on your senior year, not just basketball, but there's a lot of. Is it hard to sometimes, get that rhythm of life going on? Playing, basketball takes up a lot of your time, but you also got to study, or if you and get ready for college, and talk about those things. Is it hard to manage, or is that why we have moms at home helping us out?
That's right.
Moms will help us out a lot. All right, so any predictions for this year? Or are we going to leave those back in the locker room?
We'll leave them back.
All right, that's probably a good idea. I was leading that way for you because we've had predictions before on this show, Jay.
Oh, yes, we have, and they've turned out.
They've showed up in locker rooms around the conference.
Yeah, because a lot of people watch this show. You may not think that. We have millions and millions of viewers, and it's big. And a lot of things, something that our fans out there don't know about Nolan Drake is he runs the clock for the girls' games.
Well, yeah. I mean, he gets paid to do that.
Yeah,
so
he gets the big bucks.
Little spending money there.
So that's a big thing there, and with that, so.
Well, guys, we appreciate you being on. We're looking forward to it. We always are. Seton's next, the traditional Wednesday night before Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll have that on the Knights Broadcasting Network.
And it will be packed and stacked in this house.
A lot of people come, all the alumni come home, and they're home for Thanksgiving, so they come to the gym. So we'll look forward to that. Jerry, I think we'll probably take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break, come back and wrap up.
So thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for having
us. Appreciate it. We'll look forward to it. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys up on the podium, Knights, Subway Player of the Game. Okay, so we'll look forward to that. Go ahead, take us out of here, Jerry.
You're watching Knightline Live. Martin's Country Mart, US 27, Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle, maybe a fountain drink. At Martin's Country Mart, we also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu, covering breakfast, lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City. You've had a hard day at work and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits. The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scoretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scoretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scoretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called timeout because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, there's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Knightline Live. We're going to do a quick wrap up here. We're right up against the clock. But one little bit of tidbit of news that come out of the volleyball side was Lily Knoll and Emma Neely were invited to try out for the North-South All-Stars.
Which is quite an honor.
Which is quite an honor in itself. And then Emma Neely was chosen as one of the outside hitters to play on the South All-Stars. And that's going to be, I believe that's like at 12:30 at Lawrence Central on Sunday.
Yeah, congratulations to Emma. You know, Jerry, it's been a joy to cover that volleyball team for the last couple of years.
Oh, absolutely.
You and I have had a blast with that. And we're going to miss those girls. But from what I hear in volleyball, it's going to be more fun to come.
That's right.
We'll see what happens. It might be younger, but we'll see how Matt does with the upcoming youngsters.
It might be younger and funner.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
All the English teachers cringing out there right now. No, and also Mr. Harney, I'm sure he's cringing too, using those big words like funner. So anyway, but
just a reminder, we'll be on the air tomorrow night. What time does the JV game start? I've heard a couple different times.
I think 6:30.
All right, so we'll be on at least 5 minutes before the
5
JV
minutes
game.
before that, but double check that. I'll post that on Knightline on the Northeastern Livestreams in the morning, the exact times and all that stuff, like I normally do.
Okay.
And so we'll have that on there. So.
All right. So we'll see you tomorrow night then.
We'll see you.
Another great show.
Another great show. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap. So, Rick, why don't you take us out of here?
All right. I'd like to thank Dan Harney for being our guest, and we'll probably hopefully talk to him again at some point during the school year or the seasons. Kayla Kersey, let's give her some props here. She's doing she's the brains behind the outfit here, okay? So give her all the credit.
Well, then she'll be the only brains in this outfit.
She's the only brains. For my partner, Jerry Milton, I'm Rick Fletcher, and it's been a great night, and we'll see you next Monday night for Knightline Live.